electricity, and the synchronized clock. By the late 19th century, the world had become increasingly dependent upon accurate time. Railways connected cities, factories operated to strict schedules, and businesses coordinated activities across ever greater distances. Standard time had solved many problems, but a new challenge remained. How could clocks in different towns and cities be kept synchronized with one another? Before electricity, this was surprisingly difficult. Even the best mechanical clocks drifted slightly. A clock in one town might gain a few seconds each day, while another might lose a few seconds. Over weeks and months, these small differences accumulated. Two clocks that had once agreed could eventually differ by several minutes. For centuries, this had been accepted as normal. But the modern world was becoming less tolerant of such inaccuracies. The answer arrived through one of the most transformative technologies in human history, electricity. The invention of the telegraph had already shown that electrical signals could travel vast distances almost instantaneously. Messages that once took days to deliver could now be transmitted in seconds. It did not take long for engineers and scientists to realize that the same technology could also be used to distribute accurate time. In Britain, the Royal Observatory at Greenwich became the center of this new system. Precise astronomical observations were used to determine the correct time, and electrical signals were then sent through telegraph networks to railway stations, public buildings, businesses, and other locations across the country. For the first time in history, clocks separated by hundreds of miles could be adjusted to show exactly the same time. This represented a remarkable change. For thousands of years, time had been something observed locally. Now it was becoming something distributed nationally. A master clock could effectively control an entire network of clocks spread across a country. The famous time ball at Greenwich provides an interesting example. Each day, a large ball mounted on a mast would drop at a precise moment, allowing ships on the River Thames to set their chronometers accurately. Later, telegraph signals performed the same task far more efficiently, carrying precise time directly across the nation. As electrical technology improved, synchronized clock systems became increasingly common. Schools, factories, railway stations, government offices, and industrial sites often used a master clock connected to numerous secondary clocks. Rather than each clock keeping time independently, all were controlled from a central source. The benefits were enormous. Railway timetables became more reliable. Factories could coordinate shifts more accurately. Businesses could organize activities across multiple locations. Entire communities could operate according to a common standard. Electricity was not simply improving clocks, it was changing humanity's relationship with time itself. For the first time, accurate time could be shared instantly over long distances. People living hundreds of miles apart could organize their activities according to exactly the same clock. The modern concept of national time was becoming a reality. This development also prepared the way for another important advance. As electrical power networks spread during the 20th century, many clocks began using the frequency of the electricity supply as their time reference. In Britain, the mains frequency was standardized at 50 cycles per second, or 50 hertz. For long periods, power companies carefully controlled the average frequency of the grid. If the frequency ran slightly fast, corrections could later be made by running it slightly slow. As a result, many electric clocks achieved surprisingly good accuracy, often remaining close to the correct time for months at a time. Most people never realized that the clock on their mantelpiece might be keeping time by counting the cycles of the national electricity supply. Yet, even this impressive system had limitations. Frequency variations, maintenance work, unexpected demand, and other factors could introduce small errors. Engineers and scientists continued searching for methods that would be even more accurate. The quest for precision was far from over. During the 20th century, a new technology emerged that would transform timekeeping once again. It was smaller, cheaper, and more accurate than most mechanical clocks, and it would eventually find its way into homes, offices, factories, watches, and countless electronic devices around the world. In the next episode, we'll discover how quartz crystals revolutionized timekeeping and paved the way for the modern age of precision clocks. If you're enjoying this journey through time, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. And if the next episode is available, you'll find it linked on screen.